Islam Makhachev is hunting greatness, not another title defense, but a second belt to cement his name in UFC immortality. And Jack Della Maddalena? He's walking straight into the fire, convinced he'll be the man to melt the Dagestani machine. This fight isn't just about who wins, it's about who breaks first.
It's not secret. I have better than him. Wrestling, grappling, I can strike with anyone. November 15, I will show you who is the best fighter in the world.
My advantage is become a better mixed martial artist, and I'm going to break Islam Makhachev. I'm going to take his pound-for-pound spot. It's going to be a great moment for my career and my legacy.
Jack says this one's gonna look just like his war with Bilal, fast, bloody, and violent. He's not here to wrestle, he's here to stand and strike to make Makhachev regret every takedown he shoots. Islam's gonna drag me down, he says, but I'll get back up every single round until I break him. That's not just confidence, that's defiance.
I think Islam, we will see both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be.
And make no mistake, he's dreaming of one thing: Madison Square Garden, the lights, the crowd, the chaos. Jack wants the kind of finish that shakes the rafters and sends shockwaves through the division. But before you count Islam out, remember, this man doesn't dream, he executes.
What do you see? MSG, biggest fight of the year, Islam Makhachev, what are you seeing?
I just see like a finish. I see a finish happening. I see the crowd going wild and just turning to the corner and just see him going berserk.
Oh, man, I hope so. I hope so.
Because Makhachev's not just wrestling, he's drowning people in control. Khamzat Chimaev's already called it. He says Islam's going to grind Jack down round after round until there's nothing left but silence. And when Chimaev predicts dominance, you'd better listen, because he's seen it firsthand.
Jack or Islam? Well, Islam will get the and Jack will do that. I'm asking he coach brother, wait, what he gonna say? We'll see. Your opinions?
10% od Maddalena.
Islam to je zvedno.
Della, jaz sam problem.
Coach says 55% Maddalena, 45 Islam. But I think Islam, we will see both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be more, he's gonna use his wrestling more in this fight.
But stay with me, because in a few moments we'll get into what Khabib just revealed about his own shocking retirement plan that could change everything for Islam's camp.
How long do you see yourself coaching, and do you see yourself retiring from coaching? I can see the stress. Do you want to coach for a long time, or do you want to give it up?
When this gets finished, I'm gonna finish.
Every month you have a fight.
Oh, yes. But Usman, my priority is Usman, Omar, and Islam. And this guy's my priority.
Round of applause, come on.
Khabib Nurmagomedov just dropped a bombshell. When Usman, Umar, and Islam finish their fights, he's done. No more coaching, no more corners, no more Dagestani dynasty. That's not a rumor, that's Khabib closing the book on one of the greatest legacies in MMA history.
Yeah, no, but like I would actually like, I could like spar a little bit with him. Like he would come in like my 4th and my 5th round.
Oh, no way.
And like I remember he threw me one time. I was like, what the fuck?
You judo tossed you?
Yeah.
Uchimata?
I was a middleweight, and he was, yeah. But I got back up and got him back. But, you know, he definitely surprised me. He's very tough everywhere.
But back in training rooms, the legends still talk about what makes this camp so terrifying. Luke Rockhold remembers being tossed across the mat by Islam, a lightweight manhandling a middleweight like it was nothing. Rockhold said, "I used him for my Machida camp and I still couldn't stop him." When a former champ admits that, you know what kind of monster we're dealing with.
He's very, very tough, man. Very tough. You know, he could work with me. Not a lot of lightweights could grapple with me and compete with me. And he was always tough, and he'd always want to go harder and further than everybody else. And at that time, that's exactly where I was. And it was like, who can push the bike harder? Who can sprint faster? I remember like we'd be doing sprints, and he like, this motherfucker, like it was a push.
Did
Khabib, he pushed me to my limit,
at
and
that
that's
time,
that's why I liked. I was like, come on, let's go train at night. Let's go train here. We train together nonstop.
And it didn't stop there. Rockhold said training with Khabib was like wrestling a hurricane. Nobody outworked him. Nobody outlasted him. When those two trained together, Makhachev and Nurmagomedov, it's not sparring, it's survival.
So it was funny. He was saying one time, this was during the pandemic, he was rolling up to Extreme Couture and he had no one to train with for whatever time. And he called up Ali and he's like, oh, I got no one to train with. They're like, oh yeah, we'll send Islam to go. And he was a full, Soriano at the time was a full 85er. And he said Makhachev just fucking murdered him for 2 hours. He couldn't do anything to him. He was like, I'm an 85er and this guy's a 55er. I can't do shit to this guy. You know, and you're hearing I've just noticed there's a lot of that happening.
Then there's this. Luke Thomas shared that Punahele Soriano, a full 185 pounder, once trained with Islam. 2 hours of pure domination. A middleweight couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't escape. That's what Makhachev brings. Invisible pressure that suffocates you before the bell even rings.
We've been thinking about Islam for months, since the last fight, basically. Like, Craig's been here for weeks in an Airbnb, paying for himself. Like, it's just unbelievable what these people will do just because they want to. You know, like, people might think they're getting paid loads of money and Jack's like, well, it's not the case, man. They just want to help. Like, and it's people need to understand that they're not earning money or clout off the back of Jack. It's just they want to help Jack win. So we really appreciate it. It was so good to have Volk come over. And I think what people don't realise is we never asked him, we never paid for him. Like, he came on his own dime, you know, and just decided he wanted to come and help. So that's pretty fun.
But on the other side of the world, Jack's camp looks like something out of a Rocky movie. His coach revealed that Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones showed up out of pure loyalty. No paycheck, no invitation, just two legends volunteering to sharpen Jack's weapons for the biggest fight of his life. That's how much belief he's earned.
Well, I think that Islam's best chances are going to be really, really early. And I said it, if he can get him down early. Now, the Craig Jones element is a hack. It is a cheat code. Now, if you can get a man down early and just finish him before he gets started on his cheat codes, problem solved. If I'm Islam, you got to try to catch this man, because Jack's not the great, like, he wasn't like the greatest grappler prior, right? Like, he doesn't come from like a grappling background. Like, he's competent, but if you can catch him early and get him to make a mistake early and then just never let him out, never let him get to his cheat code, that's where Islam's going to excel.
And Din Thomas says if Islam wants to win, he has to do it early, because once Craig Jones gets involved with his grappling blueprint, things get dangerous. Din warns if it hits the mat late, Jack's defense could surprise everyone. Hold on, because what Michael Bisping says next changes the narrative completely.
I think I'm right in saying this, the most successful lightweight ever, defended the belt 4 times.
Yep.
The record previously was 3, you know, so that's phenomenal. And we all know about the lightweight division and how stacked that is. I mean, he's defended the belt 4 times. You know, he's, from what I understand, quite a simple man, you know, so, you know, be great, step up to another weight class, take out someone else, you know, Madison Square Garden. These are the moments that as a fighter we live for, these kind of super fight moments, you know. Of course, you know, he's making a tremendous living. He doesn't want to do this forever, and he can go back to his farm in Dagestan and he can live a nice simple life and know that he's been there, done that, and tested himself. That's what we want to do as fighters.
Bisping calls Islam Makhachev * the * gold standard of lightweight greatness. 4 straight defenses, the best the division has ever seen. But stepping up to welterweight, that's legacy, that's danger, that's history in real time. He says big stages like Madison Square Garden are what fighters dream of, and Islam's earned every second of that spotlight.
Islam doing it now, when he's defended the belt 4 times. He's defended the belt 4 times. The lightweight division, he's kind of gone through all the big stars there. Okay, let's go up to welterweight. Let's try something new. Let's try and do something that's never been done. Whereas a lot of the time we see fighters, they instantly become the champ and they want to defend, they want to challenge for another belt in another weight class, because there's no risk there. There's no risk. If you lose, you're still the champ at 155 or whatever weight class it is. He's done it. He's defended the belt 4 times. He's proven that he was the legitimate best fighter at 155 pounds on planet Earth, and he's done that 5 times, won the belt, and then defended it 4 times. And now he said, right, I've done that. I've clearly proven that at 155 I'm the man. Let's see if I can do it at 170. It's incredible.
And Bisping doesn't stop there. He says Islam isn't chasing paychecks, he's chasing immortality, a champion who refuses comfort, who runs asterisk toward asterisk risk. That's why this fight feels different. It's not business, it's destiny.
I'd love to hear it for him. He earned this the hard way. He cleaned out a division, maybe the hardest division in the sport. He's moved to another division. This is what it's all about. And not to mention, it's something he will never discuss. But if you don't always want to be the heir apparent to King Khabib's throne, you got to do something that Khabib didn't do. And this is his opportunity. And I know inside that's not his motivation. He is not trying to show up Khabib. But I am just suggesting at some point his grandkids are going to look back on his career and they will now have something they can turn to that is different than Uncle Khabib.
Yeah, he said that the other day. Somebody asked him, like, well, if it doesn't matter for you, he goes, what a stupid question. He goes, Khabib's my brother. He goes, I don't want to do anything better than him. He goes, we do this together, but this is for my legacy. And right now, Islam's on the verge of legacy.
Chael Sonnen agrees, but he sees a deeper story. He says Islam might not admit it, but this move is his way of stepping out of Khabib's shadow. Khabib never went up in weight. Islam is walking where his mentor never dared. That's how new legends are written, by doing what even greatness left undone.
I'm looking at his record and you're seeing Moicano, Dustin Poirier, Volkanovski twice in a row, Charles Oliveira, and then if you were a critic, then you start talking about Bobby Green. There's Dan Hooker, who's a tremendous fighter, Drew Dober, Davey Hamosh, Arman Sarukian. You know what I'm saying? So that hasn't aged bad. So yeah. I mean, listen, if he gets the job done, I think without question, he deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, and dude, let alone if he can defend that belt a couple times against a Sean Brady, against a Shavkat, against any of these super high level welterweights, like I think that would kind of push his legacy over the edge. And I think we're having conversations about him being top 3 or number 1. If he defends
without a shadow of a doubt. If he can beat Jack, and again, it's a big if. I'm not sure what the odds are on that fight, but if he can beat Jack and go on a run and defend it 2 or 3 times, it's insane.
And here's the wildest part. Bisping believes if Islam beats Jack Della Maddalena and defends that welterweight strap even once, we're not just talking GOAT conversation, we're talking a new hash one all time. He says if Islam can handle monsters like Sean Brady or Shavkat Rakhmonov next, his name could echo longer than Khabib's.
Islam versus Jack, for me, breaking down this fight stylistically, obviously trained with Islam, fought Jack. It's going to come down to if it hits the ground. If it hits the ground for Islam, I think his top game is going to be really good. He's very smart, very controlled, doesn't let you off the hook when you make a mistake. Jack makes mistakes on the ground. He uses it to scramble. He has good scrambling ability. He has moments where he's like lapses safety, right? He'll give up his back, he'll give up his neck, he'll give up an arm triangle. And you can't do that with Islam. Islam's going to see that and he's going to exploit it. I think if Islam comes out wrestling right away and forcing that takedown right away, making that work, it's going to be a long night for Jack.
Bilal Muhammad's take? Cold and calculated. He says Jack's margin for error is razor thin. One mistake, Bilal warns, and Islam will punish him for the rest of the fight. He's seen what that pressure does. It breaks timing, drains confidence, and turns fighters into statues.
Seeing him, being in there with him, he's very smart. He's good on the feet. He has good hands. He doesn't give up on himself. He always pushes through. So Jack's not going to be like a quitter, but he has to take the center. He has to be in the middle. He has to force the action and try not to get his back to the fence. Because we've seen in the Poirier fight, Islam really wants to get you to the fence. Poirier did a good job of keeping the center and he defended a couple of takedowns. But honestly, I just think that Islam's takedown offense is going to be more than Jack's takedown defense, and then when it goes to the ground, it's going to be a bad night. But if Jack can avoid some of those spots, there'll be moments for him if he can make it to the 4th, 5th round. We'll see how Islam.
But Bilal also respects Jack's heart. He doesn't quit, he says, but he needs to own the center, because if Islam traps him against the cage, it's over. Remember Poirier? Same script, same result. Islam doesn't chase you, he corners you.
I think Jack, just because of the size advantage, like the later it goes, like that's the thing. Being the bigger, stronger guy, it's effective if you can make the other fighter carry your weight. Jack being the bigger guy, I feel like the longer the fight goes, Islam's not used to carrying that same amount of weight into deep waters. I feel like just Jack's frame and size will give him the advantage if it goes later into the fight. But Islam Makhachev is an incredibly smart fighter. On the feet, he's very hard to hit. He doesn't like getting hit at all. And then he's also very conservative on the ground. He's a very hard guy to touch. He's a very hard guy to start putting some damage on. But Jack Della, I feel like there's no one better than him right now at welterweight, and I see him winning this fight.
And while the analysts debate, Dan Hooker, who's felt Islam's grip firsthand, brings the fire. Islam's got elite fight IQ, he says, but Jack's size and strength at welterweight are no joke. Hooker believes if Jack can pressure forward, keep the tempo high, and land early damage, he could be the one who forces Islam to crack first.
How do you think Islam does next weekend?
JDM is a tough. He's not much of a puzzle, man. He's pretty basic, but he is brilliant and violent and devastating with the basics, man. A little bit of range, a little bit of reach on Islam, and I won't even sit there and say, because Islam's a different breed, man. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, he's a 155er, so he's not used to going with 170 pounders. I would not be surprised if Islam, his entire career, has been sparring with 55, 70, 185, and 205ers, because the dude's kind of a nut. So I think I don't think strength or size is going to be the problem. It's really going to be the dichotomy between JDM's great striking abilities and is his takedown defense enough to stop the onslaught of wrestling that Islam's going to bring.
Then there's Michael Chandler, split down the middle but leaning toward Jack. He loves the fundamentals, the composure, the sharp jab. He says the question isn't whether Jack can strike, it's whether he can survive Islam storm long enough to make that striking count. And that's where this fight becomes something more than a title shot. It's a collision of willpower, a test of legacy versus hunger, and only one of them walks out with history in their hands. So tell me, do you think Islam Makhachev conquers welterweight, or does Jack Della Maddalena pull off the unthinkable? Drop your predictions below, hit that like button, and subscribe, because what's coming next will change how you see this entire rivalry forever.